I am so excited to share my latest resource, downloadable print your own flashcard decks. These have been created following my many years working with children of all abilities in the clinical setting, and my themed flashcard decks work. The kids love them because they're engaging and they encourage movement, learning, coping skills, and just plain fun. From dinosaurs to Halloween, each deck includes suggested and themed centering techniques, warm-ups, guided meditation, relaxation, yoga-based movement, and games. Each card in the deck includes multiple yoga-based practices to choose from, meaning you can enjoy a different experience each time you play, and there will always be something that's suitable and accessible for the child you are working with or the setting you are working in. These are highly adaptable tools, and they work in the classroom, hospital, office, or home setting. Download and print on card or paper stock of your choice and enjoy creative, adaptable, and accessible adventures for many years to come with children of all abilities and in all settings. I promise you will not regret adding a set of 2 of these to your resource collection. And keep checking in. I have created a lot of these decks over the many years I worked in the clinical setting with children of all abilities, and I'm slowly updating and releasing them to the public so that all children can benefit from these wonderful tools. This ongoing training program, and session 8 is part 4 of essential elements, and today we'll be covering warming up. So what are the benefits of warming up? Even the gentle seated warm-ups, which we'll be exploring today in addition to full body warm-ups, but even just the small little ones sitting in a chair where we're targeting wrists, fingers, eyes, we begin to connect those even micro movements with the breath. So we're beginning to develop the mind-body connection. This helps us to move the body mindfully. It also introduces the concept of meditation. When we're warming up the body, we are preparing the body for those fuller body movements and the deeper stretches. So by warming up, we're going to prevent injury and prepare the body to move a lot more and a lot deeper, and really explore some of the variations and the fuller expressions of the yoga-based stretches. So, gentle seated warm-ups. We're going to begin in the chair, and I'm going to demonstrate and lead you through. I encourage you to follow along. Some gentle stretches to target the face. We're going to do lion's breath, which is a traditional yoga technique. Lots of fun for kids, but it really targets the eyes, the tongue, the mouth, and the jaw. Lots of areas where we typically hold on to a lot of tension. And so this hits them all in one simple technique. And again, it's very playful and fun for children. We'll also be demonstrating, I'll be demonstrating some stretches that target the neck and shoulders. These are to warm up these areas: hands, spine, hips, and feet. So I'll just flip over to a full screen for us and move this chair out of the way. So I've got a rolly office chair, and we don't want to use that. That would not be safe. So you can see I have a nice sturdy chair with 4 legs. They're squarely on the floor, and it's on a carpet, so it's not slip. You could use a yoga mat as well. And we'll begin. So you notice I've got, well, you may not be able to see because I think the camera angle cuts me off, but my feet are hip distance apart and both pressing evenly into the floor. My butt is making contact with the seat of the chair, and I'm not slouching. I'm pressing down through my bones. Shoulders are in line with my hips, and shoulders are relaxed, nice and comfortable, and ready to begin. So we're going to start with lion's breath. So with lion's breath, we breathe in through the nose, and then on the exhale, take the eyes to look upwards. So that stretches the eyes, open them wide and they stretch up. We open the mouth wide and we stick the tongue out and make the raw sound. I like to make it fun and show my claws as well. So we'll do that together. We're going to take an easy breath in. Okay, let's do it again. So make sure the eyes go up and wide. So we're opening the eyes wide. The eyes look as far up as they can toward the ceiling. Tongue out, mouth wide, sound. Let's do it together. Easy breath in. Okay, we'll do it one more time so you can really feel how this is a great tension buster. One more. Easy breath in. Okay, so we're going to move on to the neck and shoulders. Shoulders in line with the hips. Just gently pressing down through the bum as if you're pushing the seat away. What that does, that's the action. The action is pressing down. The reaction is we float up. So the spine floats in a naturally erect position. Hands on the thighs, nice and relaxed. Easy inhale through the nose. And as I breathe out, I'm just gently dropping my chin to the chest, not forcing it, just letting it go as far as it will. And gravity's doing the work here, stretching out the back of my neck and across the top of the shoulders. On an inhale, I'll float the chin back up to neutral. Exhale, gently lower the chin down. One more, easy breath in, chin floats up. And breathing out, chin gently drops down. And then I'm going to float back up on an inhale. Now, from there, you would typically keep the chin down and move into neck rolls. But I just wanted to look up to make eye contact to talk about it first. This one is very important to keep the movement linked to the breath, moving nice and slow and with control. And very important to keep the shoulders relaxed. There's a tendency once we drop the chin to shrug the shoulders up. So we want to keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. So I'll have you watch me first. So don't follow. Actually watch me do the first round and then we'll do it together. So me demonstrating only, I'm breathing in now. As I exhale, I'm dropping my chin to my chest and shoulders are nice and relaxed. On my next inhale, I'm rolling my chin toward my right shoulder. This is the top of my inhale. And now I'm using my exhale to slowly come back through center. Inhale, gently rolling to the left. And exhale back through center. And I'm going to inhale to lift back up. Now let's do it together. Take an easy breath in. Breathing out, chin gently lowers to the chest. Now use your full inhale to gently roll the chin towards the right shoulder. Exhale back through center. Inhale to the left. And exhale slowly back through center. Let's just do it one more time. Easy breath in. Full inhale. Exhale. Easy inhale. And exhale. And then inhale, float the chin back up to neutral. Shoulders still melting away from the ears. So I often tell kids no shoulder earrings. It's not a good look. You want the shoulders nice and relaxed. Easy breath in through the nose. And as I breathe out, I'm dropping my left ear towards my left shoulder. And that's giving me a nice stretch across the right side of my neck and shoulder. And then inhale, float back to neutral. And exhale, gently tilt the other way. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Breathing in. And breathing out. And now breathing in, come back to neutral. Shoulder shrugs, we're going to squeeze the shoulders up to the ears. Now we do want the shoulder earrings. Take a breath in. And on the breath out, we're going to roll the shoulders and slide them down the back. Good. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, roll and slide down the back. Good. So now we're just going to make some wrist circles. So we're going to make fists with the hands and just make some circles. One direction. And then switching directions. Good. You can shake them out as well. And then taking the right hand, palm up, arm is at shoulder height, shoulders remain relaxed. I'm going to take the left hand just to grip the right hand on top. Take a nice easy breath in. Notice I'm lengthening the spine on the inhale. I'm also lengthening my arm. Maintaining that length in space. On the exhale, I'm gently pressing back the hand, getting a nice stretch in the wrist. This feels really lovely if you do a lot of computer work. I recommend little stretches like this as little mini breaks in the day. Actually, any of these that we're doing now are great if you work at a desk or for children who are studying a lot or during classroom breaks, just to take a little mini break, stretch the body, breathe, and then go back to your work. And it'll just keep your wrists and eyes and everything, your posture, your shoulders, your neck, everything healthy, and counter all that sitting and all that computer work. Okay, and we'll do the other side. So inhale, nice long spine, long arm, exhale, gently pull back. And then as I'm just gently resisting that the hands into each other and enjoying a nice yummy stretch there, still breathing, easy inhales and relaxing exhales. So another way to do this stretch is to gently pull down on each individual finger too. And you'll notice you feel the stretch across different parts of your wrist. So that's just another way to do it. Oops, my fingers are popping. If that happens naturally, that's okay. I just don't recommend intentionally popping your fingers or encouraging children to do the same. Natural pops and cracks are okay. You can give them a shake. And this is a nice one. This is a nice centering meditation technique that I like to use with a lot of children. But it's also good because we're balancing the brain hemispheres, coordinating the movement of the fingers. But what I love about it is we're getting a nice little hand stretch at the same time. So I call it finger tapping. We're going to take a breath in and stretch the fingers really, really wide. And on the exhale, tap the index finger to the thumb. Inhale, stretch really wide. Exhale, middle finger to thumb. Inhale, stretch really, really wide. Exhale, ring finger to thumb. Inhale, stretch really, really wide. Exhale, pinky finger to thumb. Now we're going to go backwards, breathing in. And exhale, pinky finger. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, ring finger. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, middle finger. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, index finger. And then inhale, stretch. And exhale, I like to bring the hands together and just take a few moments to breathe naturally and release it out. So the spine, now we're going to move into warming up the spine. So cat-cow is perfect for that. You don't have to be on all fours for traditional cat-cow. So feet squarely on the floor, butt squarely on the chair, hands resting on the thighs. On an inhale, squeezing the shoulders together, lengthening tailbone and crown away from each other. Full inhale into cow. Exhale, I'm tucking my chin, tucking my tailbone, pulling my belly in and curling into a cat back, still lengthening the tailbone and crown away from each other. So we'll flow with that for a few rounds. Easy inhale and relaxing exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. And coming back to a neutral spine. Again, keeping the feet and hips glued down, spine and torso long, shoulders relaxed. We're going to move into some hip circles. So this is a great little warm up for the hips. It's also a nice warm up for the core. Same with cat-cow. And then we'll switch directions again. You just go back and forth a few rounds in either direction, making sure that you do both directions, of course. And this, you can make the circles as big or as small as feels good to you. If you're linking this one to the breath, I recommend inhaling as we're back, exhaling as we're forward. See how we're compressing here? So that just supports the exhale. So we inhale here, exhale. That's if you're linking it to the breath. Otherwise, just nice, normal, steady inhales and exhales as we make our gentle hip circles. Being aware that the hips stay glued. You don't want to be rocking and lifting the hips. That's not having any control. So we gently want to be pressing down through the feet, down through the hips, and moving from the hips, having that nice rotation, warming up the hips. Okay, so the feet. Now, when we're doing the feet here, we're also gently warming up the quads. Just lifting my foot is engaging my quadriceps here. So we can do some ankle rolls. So you point the toes and make some, I might even hug my legs in so you can see a little bit easier. And for when I have kids do this, when I'm teaching children, I might give them a creative visualization, such as imagining they have a crayon on the tip of their toe of whatever color they like, and they're drawing these beautiful circles with their crayon. And that's a fun visual to help engage children into making these circles. And again, you can make the circles as big or as large or as small as you need. Now you notice as I'm hugging my knee in, I'm not slouching down. I'm still pressing down through my bum into the chair, and my other foot, the foot I'm not stretching or warming up, is pressing into the floor. And that pressing down action is helping to keep me lifted up. So I'm not slouching, not throwing any of the sitting requirement into my low back. I'm using my core, lengthening my spine, staying nice and safe. Okay, and then pointing and flexing. So we can point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. And I apologize if my feet don't look so clean. I just walked my dog in flip-flops before I filmed this, so I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so now this one, inhale, point, exhale as you flex. Inhale, point, exhale to flex. Okay, and then a fun little one, happy feet. Whoop. Make your feet smile. So a little smile and then bring them back together. Smile, bring them back together. So this is a simple little warm-up. As you will see in future webinars, there's so much we can do in a chair in terms of movement as well as in a bed. And we'll get into that when we cover yoga in the clinical setting and movement meditation and mindfulness in the clinical setting, and we work into adaptive movement for kids of all abilities. We'll really explore it in great detail. But just this gentle warm-up, you can see you can access a lot in this chair, just sitting in a chair. And a lot of these warm-up activities are helpful for little mini breaks when you're sitting at a desk. So I'm going to scooch back over and we'll explore some more warming up techniques that are helpful for teaching children movement meditation and mindfulness. Okay, so whole body warm-ups. This is where we're going to explore warming up the full body and really getting into these full body movements. So we're going to explore cat-cow flow. We're going to explore child's pose to down dog flow. And then we're going to explore what we call sun dances. My work is yoga based, and in traditional yoga, there are variations of a full body warm-up called a sun salutation. So these are based on that, and I'm going to play a little video to demonstrate all of these. These are all going to be on the mat for today. I will later in this webinar this afternoon be showing you how to adapt these, specifically these 3 body warm-ups, to a chair and a bed. But we'll begin with a yoga mat. I'm going to demonstrate a couple of warm-ups on the mat for you. Full body warm-ups. We're going to start with cat-cow flow. Then we'll follow with a child's pose to down dog flow. And then I'm going to demonstrate a full body warm-up that's based on a traditional basic sun salutation or a sun dance. And we're just going to do a very, very simple flow that starts in mountain, moves to extended mountain, forward fold, a low lunge on either side with a plank, chaturanga, and cobra in between. And then then we'll end in forward fold, baby back bend, and mountain, the three poses we started with. So we'll begin with cat-cow flow. So cat-cow flow, knees aligned under the hips, wrists under the shoulders, fingers are spread nice and wide. My hands are shoulder width distance apart, and my knees are hip width distance apart. Feet are straight back, going straight back at a right angle from the knee. You can tuck the toes and press back through the feet to get a little stretch in the soles of the feet, or the tops of the feet where the shoelaces would be can press into the floor. That's optional, so whichever is more comfortable. On an inhale, I'm dropping the belly, sticking my tailbone up and gazing up towards the ceiling. I'm lengthening tailbone and crown away from each other. This is cow. Exhaling, I'm pressing the floor away, curling my back, tucking my chin, tucking my tailbone, and still lengthening the spine, tailbone and crown moving away from each other. I'm going to flow. Inhale, exhale. Using the whole breath, I'm riding on my breath. So the full inhale, I'm at the top of my inhale right here, takes me to the full expression of the movement. And exhale, making the movement last as long as the exhale. Now I'm at the top or the bottom of my exhale, I should say. Inhale and exhale. So now we'll go into child's pose. I'm actually going to keep my knees hip distance apart, my feet hip distance apart for this variation. So the hips will sit back on the heels, hands extend forward, and I rest the forehead on the floor. So this is child's pose. I'm beginning in child. I'm inhaling through table, tucking my toes, and on an exhale, pressing back into downward facing dog. Inhale, table, untuck the toes, exhale, child's pose. So I'll do a few rounds without talking about it. So that's a nice, simple warm-up flow, linking table, child's pose, and downward facing dog. Now I'm going to take you through a basic, simple sun salutation. So I'm beginning actually at the top of my mat in mountain pose. I'm going to reach up into extended mountain, fold into forward fold. I'm stepping my left foot back, so I'm lunging on the right side. And I'm stepping my right foot back into plank, coming down into chaturanga. And for this one, I'm going to come all the way to the floor and come up into cobra. And then I'm pressing back into down dog. And I'm stepping my left foot forward for a low lunge on the left side. Stepping my right foot forward directly into forward fold, and then coming up into a back bend and ending where I started in mountain pose. So I'm going to do the whole thing again so you can see how it flows. So there we have it. 3 simple full body warm-ups: cat-cow flow, child table down dog flow, or a very simple full body warm-up that's based on the very basic sun salutation. Now there are many variations of sun salutation and you can build on them, but that's just a nice basic one that I'm threading through this particular webinar. You're going to see it adapted in the chair and adapted in the bed as well. Good Jonah and I are going. Okay, so there were the full body warm-ups on a mat. And now we're going to explore a little bit about how to make them fun and engaging for kids, and how to make a warm-up flow interesting and something that kids want to do. So it can be fun. It doesn't have to be, oh, we're going to do some warm-ups now. You can play. You can dance. So a couple of songs that I recommend that are playful and fun for younger children, and they talk you through a sun salutation, a traditional yoga sun salutation, is Kira Wiley's Dance for the Sun. And there's also Karma Kids, which is a yoga studio out of New York that's dedicated to children. And they have a CD, and on that CD the song is called Sun Dance, and it's a fun little song to play and follow along to. If you are ever using a prop such as a song or a book, I recommend that you familiarize yourself with it first and then play it and play movement, meditation, and mindfulness with the kids you're working with along to the song or the book. Never just show up and grab something off the shelf without preparing or being aware of how it works yourself. And that's just for safety as much as it is so that you know exactly what you're going to be teaching. You can be aware of any adaptations you may need, and you know what's coming, so you can practice it, and then you're able to watch the kids and keep them safe too. You're not just following along, not knowing what's going to happen next. So, and I only say this because I've seen so many teachers, people with all good intentions, just playing a song and hoping it works without really understanding what it is before. They're just ill-prepared, and that's something that I do not subscribe to. So my book, The Mountain That Longed to Be Different, this is a fun little story for kids, and it actually, the whole story talks you through a basic sun salutation. And so it has the guide in the back, and then once you're warmed up, and we're going to play this. I'm going to show you myself doing it with my grandson, Jonah, in just a moment. But it has a great little posture guide in the back with a fabulous little movement routine to complete. And it's a nice balanced routine. Once you've practiced a few rounds of basic warm-up, a full body warm-up based on traditional sun salutations following the story, you can then delve in and practice the routine in the back and really get a nice full movement session out of one little book. A lot of fun for kids, and there's a great message in the story too. So let's explore creative warm-up experiences. So weaving a story that ties in with your theme, and we'll be exploring themes further along in the series. Essential Elements is actually a 4-part series. Today is part 1 of Essential Elements, and by the end of part 4 we would have explored themes as well, and how to theme your entire movement, meditation, and mindfulness sessions. So they're really fun and appealing for kids, and kids want to move, they want to play. So we'll start with the warm-ups, and I'm just going to flip back to the video, and we'll watch Jonah and I do 2 different, we're going to do the same style sun dance or yoga-based sun salutation, but to 2 completely different stories. I am going to demonstrate today how you can do a warm-up flow, or traditionally in yoga, sun salutation. We're going to demonstrate doing it to a story.
Speaking of, hi there, I'm Jonah, she's Lisa.
That's right. Thank you for the introduction. Are you ready to do some warm-up flow?
Yes.
So we're going to do a mountain story. I think you're familiar with this story, actually.
I have the book.
You have the
gave
book.
me it.
Okay.
You made it for me.
So let's start as a mountain. So we're going to be nice, tall, strong mountains. We're breathing, we're calm, we're relaxed, but we're a little bit sad. It's kind of boring sticking around being a mountain. We just get stuck in the same spot every day, and everyone else seems to have all the fun. So let's reach for the sun. We're going to ask the sun to help us. Can you help us be anything but a mountain? The sun's not saying much, is she, Jonah? No. So let's bow down to the earth and see if we can listen to her secrets. She has oceans and jungles and deserts. Nope, she's not giving us any secrets. So let's take one giant brave step back by ourselves. Okay, and now we're going to take another one and look what happened. We're crocodiles in a big swamp, but let's sink down into the water and let's take a bite of that yummy gazelle that's sitting on the bank.
Nom, 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 nom.
Okay. Oh, but I don't feel so good about that. I want to be a mountain again. I dream of being a mountain again. So let's take that first giant step forward, followed by another. Let's ask the earth, will you help us be a mountain again? She's not saying much, is she? Let's reach up for the sun. Sun, will you help me be a mountain again? Oh, I think I can do it by myself if I really, really try. Let's try, Jonah. Let's try and see if we can be a mountain again. Let's bring our hands by our sides. Okay, we made it. We're a mountain again.
Yep.
Okay, so Jonah and I today are going to demonstrate how to do a warm-up flow to a story, and you can make up any story you like and tie it into your theme. So the example I'm going to use today is for beach yoga and how we can tie a warm-up flow, or in traditional yoga called a sun salutation, to warm up ready for our movement portion, but tying it into a beach theme. Are you ready, Jonah?
Warm up flow like the water.
That's right, we're flowing, and it's right, the water flows at the beach. So let's start. We're on the beach. Oh, it's a beautiful day on the beach, Jonah. Can you feel the sand under your toes?
Yeah.
Yeah? Now let's reach up for the sun. Oh, it feels great. And let's come on down and feel that sand. Can you feel the sand? Ooh, I wonder what the water's like. Let's step 1 foot back. See if we can touch our toes in the water. Oh, it doesn't feel so bad. I think we can go for a swim. Let's step the other foot back. Oh, let's sink down into the water. It feels great. Oh, here comes a wave. Let's get up over the wave. Here comes a big, giant wave. Oh my goodness. It's a really big wave and it's carrying us back to the shore. Let's step the other foot up. Woo, that was a rough ride. Let's feel the sand. Are we back on the shore? Oh, reach up for the sun.
We're on the shore.
Oh, that felt good, but I'm glad to be back on the sand.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun. You want to go again?
Let's go next.
Okay, let's reach for the sun. And let's come on down and check the sand. Let's test the water. 1 foot back. Ooh, you think we can go in?
It's really hot.
I hope it's not hot. Hopefully it's just warm. Let's sink down into that ocean and woo! Here comes a wave. And here comes a giant wave. Oh my gosh, I'm tumbling in the wave. Woo! Let's find the sand again. Okay, is this the sand?
Yeah.
Let's reach up to the sun. Maybe it will help us dry up and that was so much fun. Give me 5. How do you feel?
I feel beached up.
Feel beached up. You can see how a simple sun salutation or a full body warm-up flow can be adapted to a theme. Something else I really want to point out, you probably noticed, especially by the second time we were filming a round of warm-up flow, Jonah was super fidgety. But by the end of that flow, he had an outlet for that extra energy he had going on. By providing him a set of structured movements, I gave him something to do with his body. Yet it wasn't a boring lecture. It wasn't, hey, you need to learn how to move your body. We wove a fun story in. We were creative, but we moved our body mindfully and with control. And it was meditation in motion. And what we achieved from that was he got those wiggles out. He was much calmer, much more focused by the end of that. And that's just with 2 rounds. I know we demonstrated 3 because we did the mountain story, but he became super fidgety when we were about to start the beach one. So you just saw that twice. And in the beginning, he's flinging his little body around, playing with the mat. And at the end, he was like, hey, I feel beachy. So that just shows, it demonstrates just how helpful mindful movement is for children in terms of getting some of that extra energy out and showing them that they can have control of their bodies and feel great. So we'll move on to accessible warm-up sequences. So I'm going to demonstrate, again, just playing the video today, how to adapt those full body warm-up sequences so they're accessible whether you're in a chair or in a bed. demonstrate how to access a cat-cow style warm-up flow sitting in a chair. So I'm sitting on a chair on a yoga mat, and that gives it a little bit of a grip, so it's nice and safe to move in a chair without the chair slipping. My feet are squarely on the floor, my hips are pressing evenly into the seat beneath me, hands resting on my thighs. So this is like a nice, simple alignment focused mountain pose seated in the chair. It's a good starting point to get the alignment correct, so we're ready to flow with correct alignment. And I'm going to inhale, lengthen my spine, squeeze my shoulders together, tailbone and crown are lengthening away from each other as I breathe in, nice long spine curling in a C-shaped backward. And then on an exhale, I'm tucking my chin, tucking my tailbone, and I just slide my hands forward. And that helps me to achieve the shape, still lengthening the spine, tailbone and crown moving away from each other. Inhale, I'm sliding the hands toward me, lengthening my spine, opening my chest, gazing up towards the ceiling. Exhale, curling and rounding into my cat. So breathing in, cow, exhaling cat. So today I'm demonstrating how to access a simple warm-up routine sitting in the chair. You'll notice the chair is on a yoga mat, so it's nice and secure, it won't slip. And this is the best way to practice any kind of movement when you're using a chair, just to have a nice, not a grippy surface underneath so the chair doesn't move about and you feel nice and safe and secure. Now, it's a yoga-based simple sun salutation that we're using for this movement warm-up. We'll be doing a mountain pose, a baby back bend, forward fold, low lunge on the right side, plank, chaturanga, cobra, into down dog, low lunge left side, a forward bend, baby back bend, and then ending in mountain. So I'm going to talk you through it the first time, and then I'll demonstrate it just as a simple flow without pointing out the yoga postures or the yoga-based postures. So we'll begin in mountain, both feet are firmly on the floor. My butt is pressing the seat away, shoulders relaxed, palms connecting, thumbs resting at the sternum. I'm pressing my feet into the floor, pressing my bum into the chair, my spine is lengthening, shoulders relaxed, and I'm breathing. So this is mountain pose. On an inhale, I'm reaching up, taking a little tiny back bend in my extended mountain. Exhaling, spine long, coming into a forward fold. On an inhale, I'm rolling up and drawing my right knee in. And I'm going to squeeze that knee in even more, sitting up tall. This is low lunge on the right side. Releasing that leg, I'm placing my hands on my thighs, lengthening my arms and my spine, really pushing my thighs away. This is plank. On an exhale, I'm gently bending the elbows, coming into a modified chaturanga. Now we're going to go into cobra. I'm going to right here with my elbows bent, lengthen my spine on an inhale. Exhale, squeeze my shoulders together and lower my chest down. So this is my cobra. On an inhale, I'm lengthening the whole body. Arms up, legs out, downward facing dog. And then I'm coming into my low lunge on the right side, hugging that knee in, sitting up tall, breathing in here. And on an exhale, I'm releasing that foot, bowing forward into a forward fold. Inhale, rolling up, reaching up into my baby back bend. And then exhaling, coming back to mountain, the starting point. So I'm going to do it all again without pointing out the poses, just so you can see how it flows. So there you have it, a nice simple warm-up that's based on our traditional basic sun salutation that can be accessed in a chair. I'm going to demonstrate cat-cow sitting in a bed. So I'm just sitting up in my bed with my legs crisscrossed, and I'm placing my hands on the top of my shins just below my knees. As I breathe in, I'm going to lengthen my spine, making a nice cow shape with my back. And on the exhale, tuck my chin, tuck my tailbone, pulling the belly in, curling and rounding, and just gently flowing with the breath. Easy inhale, relaxing exhale. Another way to practice cat sitting in the bed would be with the legs extended. Again, resting the hands on the legs, lengthening the spine on the inhale. I'm gazing up to the ceiling and lengthening tailbone and crown away from each other. And on the exhale, sliding the hands away from me, tucking the chin, tucking my tailbone, and curling and rounding. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Okay, so that was the demonstration of the full body warm-ups in the chair and the bed. I did notice that the bed full body warm-up that's based on a sun salutation is missing from that video. So for those who are attending the live webinar, I'll be sending that out to you today with the bonus materials that you're getting today. And for those that are watching this on demand, just after the end of this webinar, there'll be a second film added to it. And that will, as a little trailer bonus, that will have the adapted full bodies yoga-based sun salutation adapted for the bed. And I apologize for that error. Now, before we close today, I just want to touch on the breathing. You'll notice I was cueing the breath. So just a reminder, when you're moving and we're moving mindfully, we're linking the movement to the breath. So we want to follow what's happening with the breath. On inhales, we're expanding and finding space in the body. Exhaling, we're softening into that space. Even when we're in the full expression of the pose, we still want to think of finding space in our body, realigning on the inhale, and then softening into that on the exhale. That just keeps us safe. And it also helps us to stretch deeper as and when the body is ready. And then finally, the book Mountain That Longed to Be Different, that's available on my website, yoyogaschool.com. It's also available at Amazon, and a lot of major booksellers carry it as well. And then Teach Your Child Yoga also has a lot of warm-ups in there that are helpful, and lots of tips for teaching movement, meditation, and mindfulness to children. I highly recommend this book. It's got a lot of material in it that's helpful and supportive no matter how old your children are. I've even been told it's very helpful for adults too. And it includes adaptations for kids during each developmental stage, and a lot of those adaptations are helpful for adults too, who may have an injury or something going on where their bodies need some extra support, and you'll find that in here as well. So I'm going to open it up to Q&A in just a moment, but before we do, I want to review next week's session. It's Essential Elements Part 2, and we will be covering sequencing, how to sequence movement, meditation, and mindfulness sessions to benefit children, and also sequencing them so they are developmentally and age appropriate. So we'll be exploring that next week, and I hope you can join me. Thank you for joining me today. Again, I apologize about that missing video link, but that will be made available to you as soon as this broadcast goes live. I'll be goes on demand. My apologies. I will be sending it out. And for those who are joining me on demand, it will be available as a little bonus video at the end or as a trailer attachment.